around this time of the year, New Year's, people are setting New Year's intentions, wanting to manifest a year ahead. Today's the 10th of January, so like people are getting into kind of their habit building exercises, and people have started going to the gym, maybe signed up for the local yoga class. Maybe some of you are the teachers, right? So classes are busy, everything is full and busy right now. And when it comes to fitness, yoga, this is the time of the year when everything is full and busy. And for whatever it is that you are building or wanting to work on, so let's say if it's your physical health and your fitness, so maybe you're starting to get into or get back into your fitness routine or your yoga routine, or maybe you are starting anew. Sometimes around this time of the year, we tend to go a little bit gung-ho. What that means is we just go all out, right? And like just give it everything and squeeze out every drop of energy or motivation, if you want to call it that, at this time of the year. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing, but it doesn't serve you long term if you tend to fizzle out. And most New Year's resolutions and intentions tend to fizzle out by around, I don't know, 5 days from now, like the middle of January, 2 to 3 weeks in. People lose steam, so to speak, right? Lose energy, and it's busy, right? The holiday seasons have just finished. Probably spent quite a bit of money on shopping for Christmas. And then there was like New Year's celebrations. This time around, there's a lot of people who had the virus again, but a different version of it this time around. So maybe you're just recovering from that and trying to get into some routine. So my message is just take it easy, as in pace yourself, because when you're wanting to create a habit with anything, you want to be able to build that habit in so it's long lasting. Because as I've said many times, the formula to success that I've found in any area is consistency. Consistency meaning discipline. So it's a time of the year you could say that we are building or wanting to build discipline, but discipline tends to fizzle out very quickly. Whatever motivation behind the discipline tends to fizzle out quickly if we don't give ourselves some room to build it into a habit. That's the word, like build, right? Like it builds over time, it compounds, and you keep getting the results over time. If you are starting a yoga practice, let's say, if you're new to yoga, which I know a lot of you here in the session aren't, but maybe some people listening to the recording might be, pace yourself. And if you go into a yoga class and like just exhaust yourself the first few times, and then you decide, okay, yoga's not for me. Or you're starting meditation, let's say. You do the first few meditations, you do really long meditations, right? Some difficult ones, and then you're like, you know what? Meditation's not for me. So just know that when you're building a habit, the first things you're going to face is the stuff that needs to be dealt with, right? The stuff that needs to be cleared, the stuff that needs to be healed. You're gonna be met with some obstacles, just like with anything in life. When we chart course to get from A to B, so to speak, to get from where you are to something that you want to create in your life, it's a journey. And you want to learn to love the journey and love the challenges, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, because it's the journey, as they say, right? The journey is the destination. So when you're building a habit, slow down, pace yourself, break it down into the smallest, most manageable chunks, so that when it's smaller, manageable chunks, so let's say if it's like meditation, you've never meditated before, start with 5 minutes, right? Do 5 minutes of meditation every day for a week or two until you can feel like, yeah, 5 minutes is doable. I feel good doing these 5 minutes. Now I'm ready to turn it up to 7 minutes or 10 minutes, right? Not that more minutes is better, but the consistency part is the key thing. So then turn it up little by little, so that as you're turning it up from 5 to 10 minutes, whether it's a yoga practice, whether it's a meditation, don't forget also to acknowledge the progress that you've already made. Because we tend to always sometimes just look for what's missing. And when you're looking for what's missing, what you need to do better, which obviously is a good thing to do, but if that's your only focus, it's difficult to feel good about it, right? So you also want to, at as many steps and the stages, be able to stop and acknowledge how much you've already done, how far you've already come, how much progress you've already made, how much you've already grown. And if you've done one day of meditation for 5 minutes, that's not easy. That's a lot compared to maybe never having done meditation before. So you want to have those points where daily, weekly, whatever it is that you set yourself, that you're really stopping to acknowledge your progress and how far you've come. So you're building in this kind of loops of acknowledgement, and you can say even gratitude, right? So gratitude and acknowledgement, it kind of fuels, right? Gives you fuel to go into the next step, the next stage. Therefore, it keeps feeding itself so that you can continue to build the habit, whatever the habit that you're wanting to build. Whether it's your physical fitness, right? Your yoga practice, or it's your meditation, or you're delving into inner work, right? And maybe you're journaling, maybe you're coming into, right, this kind of work. Slow, small, consistent steps is the key. And I know I've said it many, many, many times, but I'm just saying it in a different way right now, applying it to this time of the year when everyone's like, yes, I'm really motivated. That's awesome. Use that energy to start. Because sometimes that first step is the hardest step. The journey of 1,000 steps begins with the first. And the first step is really difficult, maybe even procrastinating with it for a long time. Maybe you delayed it for months and you thought, oh, I'll wait for New Year's because New Year's seems to be the time. Like, okay, so it's New Year now. So use that momentum, use that energy, and then start small and build consistently so that it becomes kind of like your companion, you could say, right? Like your yoga practice becomes your buddy, becomes your friend that kind of holds your hand and can walk you through life for the rest of the year, for the rest of your life, and to give you the foundation underneath, right? Like a stable, steady ground for you to stand on, which is built on your practice, like your yoga practice and or your meditation practice, let's say.